Welcome back to episode 4 of G'day from the USA. I'm your host, Lady Amanda, and I thought it would be fun to have a chat about what it's really like for an Australian living and working in the USA. I'm here today with Kyla.
Hi, good morning.
She was born and raised in Oregon in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and she's about as American as Twinkies. G'day, Kyla.
I don't know if people still eat those. I imagine they must, but
I think I tried one once, and that was enough.
They have a shelf life of like a zillion years. They never expire.
Yeah, it was bizarre, is all I have to say about that.
There's like at fairs and stuff, they deep fry Twinkies.
Ooh, I might have to try that.
Yeah, we can do that this year at fair.
We have a special guest today.
Oh.
Young Annie, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Annie.
She is 10 years old, almost 11. Her birthday is in...
Oh, not very
2
many
weeks?
days.
I don't know.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Couple of weeks.
Somewhere in there.
She was born and raised in the USA. She loves horses and sports, and we will be putting her knowledge of the USA to the test today.
Ooh.
G'day, Annie.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
What sports do you play?
So I've played softball 3 times now. The softball season starts this year. And then,
Basketball?
yeah, I've done basketball for 3 years. Then I've done volleyball,
Oh, wow.
soccer.
Wrestling?
No,
Are you sure? Because you're very good at wrestling.
I just know how to fight.
Yeah.
That's a country girl for you.
Well played.
She really was wanting
And a
to play
couple-
football, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm
Football,
going
is
to,
that more
though.
like rugby?
What is that?
Yeah.
Gridiron? I
Yeah.
get them so confused.
It's football is American football.
Where you basically
not soccer,
run with a ball in
not
your hand.
rugby.
Yeah.
But it's like an egg-shaped ball that you throw, and I don't really know a lot of the rules.
And you're all
honestly.
padded up. Australian
Yeah.
football, there's no padding. And it's a lot rougher, I think. And it's more kicking.
Mm.
Yeah. So, have you both had a good week?
Yeah.
Anything exciting happen?
No.
Nothing?
This is
No.
not good for radio.
Well, I had a good week.
I had a great week
Why? Why so great?
because I'm off today, and it's amazing, and that makes me
Weekend.
incredibly happy. Yes, it's finally my weekend.
Yes. We watched a movie last night.
Oh,
True
so good.
Spirit, a story of Jessica Watson, an Australian who became the youngest person to sail solo non-stop around the world at age 16.
That was so good.
Yeah. Thumbs up or down, Annie?
Thumbs up.
1 or 2?
2.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, definitely 2 from me.
Yeah, it was inspiring, I think. I mean, think of it, a 16-year-old. Annie's 10.
So
Almost
6
11.
more years, she'd be out there.
By herself for 210 days. She survived 7 knockdowns. And at one point, the boat was literally upside down, underwater. 15 feet underwater, wasn't it?
Yep.
Something like that. At least the alarm went off.
Yeah. One of our cats is scratching in the corner there. America.
Wow.
I almost went to the gym.
She did almost come to the gym.
I got dressed. I feel like it counts because I got dressed. I made the effort to drive there. And then I was stood up.
Well, she wasn't stood up. There was an emergency, so we didn't get to go to the gym because I was working on call, doing emergencies at the hospital.
Well, as I said,
But
it was like an
I
hour
felt
round trip
terrible
for me.
because she drove all the way in town, and
Yeah.
then we got paged in for someone, I think, having a heart attack or something. So we had to say,
Clearly it was more important.
I'm sorry, dear, you are the love of my life. And yeah, sometimes you have to just take a back seat.
I remember I paid $20 for a gym membership at, what was it called? Planet Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
What was their slogan? No judgment.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
no judgment zone.
I felt judged when I was there, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, I would go, and there were times, I'm not even going to lie, I walked straight to the massage room and just sat on the
Sat on the
massage
chair. I could not
And
believe it.
relaxed
I'm
for
like,
an hour.
what are you doing? I'm over there sweating, grunting, doing the weightlifting and the things. And
I wanted
there's
to get my money's
Amanda.
worth. Yeah.
using the massage chair.
They also had the ones that you could lie down on. It was a hydro massage.
Hydrotherapy or hydro something.
But it only went for like 10-minute increments. But you could redo it. Yeah, gym memberships where all good intentions go to die.
Yeah, just like the crisper in the fridge. You buy all those fruits and veggies, you put them in the crisper, and then
Forget about them.
2 weeks later, you take all the moldy veggies and fruit out and throw it in the garbage.
This is true. So I have a contender to the Guinness World Record balloon, the helium balloon. Just to recap, we got a balloon New Year's Eve, so December 31st. It is still going strong.
It's still
this
floating.
balloon is still floating
In the kitchen.
Anyway, Kim from Down Under is challenging my claim.
Oh.
She was also given a balloon on New Year's Eve, and the sad reality is her balloon is technically 19 hours older because of the time difference.
Oh, what?
Anyway, we've got a challenge, so game on, Kim.
All right, we're
keep
in
an
this.
eye on that.
We're in this.
I'd like to give a shout out to my cousin Sarah. Her beloved cat Igby saw her last day on Earth yesterday.
Oh,
So sad.
I'm so sorry, Sarah.
Yeah, we all love animals. Annie, how many cats do you have?
6.
She has one cat. Is it called Baby?
I have 2 cats.
Well, I'm talking about the one baby.
Yeah.
And how many litters has she had now? 28?
No, like
At least.
4 or 5.
She's
Still standing, but she's really pretty.
She is. The worst part of having animals, they never live long enough.
They don't live long enough.
That is the saddest part.
Especially the ones that get real close to you and near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
It's
It's
probably the
heartbreaking.
hardest part of having an animal.
Anyway, hearts are with you at this time, Sarah, because I know she was the love of your life.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Still snowing on and off, but most of it has melted.
Thank goodness. I've never
Yeah.
been so happy to see the rain come back in my life.
Yes, Annie lives about 3.5 hours away from us down the coast. Did you get much snow down there?
Yeah, we had, I wouldn't say a lot, but we had some.
Enough to sled in?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I took my
Ooh.
kayak down the hill.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know you had a kayak.
I have, well, at my house right now, we have 3 kayaks.
Oh, one for all of us. Bring them back
Excellent.
next time.
Well, we'll be coming over and we're going to go kayaking this summer then.
So, interesting thing. Of course, I love the wildlife here. Like, we had a herd of deer, 10 deer
Mm-hmm.
at the front of the back of our property. Anyway, I bought this huge bird/wildlife block to feed the animals, which was really good because with the snow, they couldn't get, like, it's harder for them to...
They couldn't get at the ground. They couldn't
Yeah,
get
'cause the
insects.
ground's frozen.
That's kind of what they'd be surviving on right now because there's not much in the way of seeds and...
So anyway,
like
I've
that.
been luring all the wildlife to basically our front porch, which Kyla's not happy about because
Because
there's-
she's probably luring rats as well, which we do have here.
and there's seeds from one end of the porch to the other. But I feel like I've saved lives.
Yeah, I'm sure the rat population is thriving.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrels. Well, one squirrel, little Bonita. Anyway, exciting news. I saw my first woodpecker up close. Well,
yes.
2. I saw a male and a female. The male have red patches.
On the top of their
Yes.
head, like a little red patch, like a cap.
Yeah, and it's sort of weird because I always think of a woodpecker like a mythical cartoon character.
Like Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched that, Annie? Or is that before your time?
Yes, I have watched it.
Okay.
Thank goodness. I feel a little less old right now.
So I've been geeking out on bird watching. And of course, as I do, I had to research this. Did you know there are 23 types of woodpeckers native to the US?
No, I did not.
Nor did I. I knew we had a bunch, but
Yeah, so anyway, the one I saw, the 2 I saw, were called hairy woodpeckers. And they have a longer bill.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're found worldwide with the exception of Australia, New Zealand, New Guinea, Madagascar, and Antarctica.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So these really, you wouldn't have seen them.
Never. Apparently, the drumming or the hammering sound they make with their bills is either foraging for food, breeding, or signaling.
Oh.
Yeah, and to prevent brain damage from the rapid and repeated powerful impacts, they have a very small brain. It's smooth, a narrow subdural space, and little you're going to have to help me on this one, cerebrospinal fluid.
Very little, cerebrospinal fluid.
Yeah, surrounding the brain so it prevents it from moving back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Very.
Yeah, when they're doing the drumming.
It's so loud and it is so fast. It's remarkable.
Apparently the skulls heat up when it's happening, so that's why it's very short bursts. And there's that. Yeah.
And that's why there's such a gap in between.
So I timed it because so basically to set the scene, I was cleaning. I know, send the media because this is a rare occurrence. I was cleaning the house yesterday and I kept hearing this sound, and it was probably every 20 or 30 seconds, and it drove me crazy.
And I'm at work and I get this video and she's like, what is this noise?
Yeah. I was concerned. I thought it was rattling pipes or something. It just was so loud and just kept happening, and I thought it was very intermittent. Anyway, I went out the house, walked around the house, and heard it again and couldn't figure it out. And then it suddenly occurred to me, I thought maybe it was a woodpecker.
Yeah.
And I do think it was.
You are actually correct. This morning, we had a similar noise. And I was like, I'm going to find out, where this thing is. Because the last thing that I really want is one deciding to make a house in our siding. Mm-hmm. So I was walking around the house and there was a northern flicker, which happens to be one of my favorite birds.
And that is a type of woodpecker.
If you're listening, look it up and then try to find a picture of its wings spread out. They're absolutely stunning. It's like orange with these black dots. Beautiful, beautiful bird.
Yeah, apparently they can use gutters and downpipes.
Our metal roof.
Yes.
Signaling.
Yeah.
For a mate.
Like a mating call or whatever. If a woodpecker appears to you, apparently it is a sign for new possibilities and opportunities in your life.
Well, we have two different species of woodpecker that have appeared to us lately.
Yeah.
How exciting.
New things. Yes. Another interesting thing, the millisecond before they the bills contact wood, a membrane closes, which protects the eye from flying debris. Because you imagine at that, at that force they're going.
Sure, yeah. And they actually will peck holes. I think there's some that peck holes in older rotten wood, and then they'll stuff acorns in them.
Oh, that's
cool.
For
kind of for I don't know, winter storage. I don't know, something like that.
Each species of woodpecker has a drumming pattern that is unique in the number of beats in the roll, the length of the roll, the length of the gap between the rolls, and the cadence. Fascinating. Annie, it looks like she's bored. Wake up. Fascinating to only me.
You want a sip of my coffee, Annie?
I'm good. Coffee tastes bad.
Okay,
keep it that way.
It's that fun segment where we do a word pronunciation. So I'm going to give them to Annie. If you could read that first one, please.
Caramel.
I do think it's very odd how you say that word.
It's caramel.
Ugh.
I'm glad I have another American here today to back me up.
Caramel. Okay, number 2.
Yogurt.
Yogurt. It's the same. I think the English says yogurt.
Yeah, but you guys spell it funny. There's an H.
Yogurt.
No. I don't think we spell it that way. I think there's no H.
Oh.
Could that be another silent H? like herb.
I'm going to have to do a live Google of this. Chat amongst yourselves for a moment. Yogurt.
Oh.
Mistakes from... Okay.
I'm right. We spell it Y-O-G-U-R-T.
No, okay. Yogurt and yogurt are both English terms. Yogurt is predominantly used, yogurt without the H, in American, while with an H is used in Australia.
So with an H in Australia, I just want to clarify that H is silent, much like the H in herb.
Okay, number 3.
Tortilla.
Tortilla.
No.
Tortilla.
Listen, I speak Spanish. The double L sound in Spanish is a y sound.
Okay.
Tortilla.
But we're not speaking Spanish. We're talking English.
I have no words.
Okay. Next, Annie.
Garbage.
Garage. It was very. I mean, the writing is small. It was very tiny.
Oops. It is pretty small. And
Where are my glasses?
I think they're downstairs. I think you left them downstairs.
I should
They're
have.
probably downstairs.
Okay, so garage.
Garage.
Or as we like to say at our house, the garage.
Garage. Okay. Next.
New York City.
New York City.
She says it funny. New.
New. Okay. What's the next one?
Ant.
Aunt. Ant.
Ant.
Sounds like you're talking about the little insect, an ant.
Well, that's how it's said. Ant.
So what you call your aunts? Ants?
Yes, Aunt Terry. Hello, Aunt Terry. Hello, Aunt Alice.
Okay. Next.
Car.
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 Like, ka.
Okay. This next one's going to be interesting.
Looks like that says scone.
Scone. So the weird thing is you call scones biscuits. Biscuits cookies. You put gravy on your scones, which are biscuits. Very odd.
Well, I actually just had a biscuit and gravy at work the other morning for breakfast.
That is so weird.
It's like as you guys would say, a scone, but it's a biscuit. Well, for me, it's a biscuit. And then you cut it in half, and then you put this kind of like sausage-based gravy on there, and it's actually quite good. It's a savory kind of a dish.
It's really not. I've tried it once and mistakes were made when I ordered that.
Well, you have unique tastes.
Australian tastes.
I don't usually eat biscuits and gravy. I usually have potatoes with gravy on top.
That is good. I do like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't often order it, but mashed potato here. And there's always two types of gravy. There's like white gravy and brown gravy. And they always ask you, what do you want? Do you want the white or the brown? Very odd. What do you prefer, Annie?
Really, either one.
You'll have any gravy. Okay, next.
The next one is pecan.
Pecan.
No, pecan.
For some reason, the way I say it obviously sounds like bacon because whenever I ask for something pecan,
They're like bacon?
massacred. Yeah.
And we'd have to ask the folks in the South how they pronounce it because that's where I think the majority of our pecans are grown.
Oh, yeah, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw the first, I can't remember if it was the first one, but wherever we went, it might have been Savannah. It was like the first pecan tree or something. It was very fascinating. Okay,
All right.
lucky last.
Banana.
Banana. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
That's what I was
Banana.
saying
Yeah.
before I said it.
B-A-N. Okay, so every week I do the citizenship test questions. But I'm going to give you a reprieve this week, Kyla.
Oh.
Instead, I have some questions for Annie. I want to see what they teach you in elementary school. So can you explain what elementary school is? Because our Australian listeners will have no clue.
Well, I don't know how to explain
Like,
it.
how old are you when you start?
6.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so that is grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Kindergarten.
Is
First grade.
included.
Second
Kindergarten is
Okay.
around 5.
Okay, but
First
then we
grade is
have
6.
elementary school.
Yeah, so that's elementary school, and it goes through, in some states it goes through grade 5. That's what I was when I was growing up. Some states it goes through grade 6.
Okay, so when's your last year of school there?
Well, her school has all 3 years, or all 3
Middle
settings.
school as well.
She has
everything.
elementary, middle, and high school at her school because
Gotcha.
it's a small rural school.
Gotcha. Okay, so do you pledge allegiance to the flag every day?
No.
Oh, interesting. I figured that would be an American thing.
Is that because Eddyville's a charter school?
I don't know. We only do it when our high school girls basketball team we're doing playoffs.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you know the words to it?
Ooh.
Oh.
The face says it all.
Yeah.
Kinda, but also not, because they
Give
don't
us a little rendition.
They don't actually say the words. It's just like,
I would have thought literally 3 days after birth, you would know the Pledge of Allegiance.
no.
I mean, times are a lot different, I think, now as compared to when I was growing up.
Yeah, I felt like
I mean,
it's just a thing.
It's been only about 5 years, but
Whatever.
it's been about 40 years. So,
Okay, so I have questions. Are you ready, Annie?
I don't know. What questions?
Okay, number 1. What is the capital city of the USA? You don't have to get all these right. I'm just curious.
We'll take you there someday, and then you'll remember.
No clue?
No.
Kyla?
Washington, D.C.
Okay. Question 2.
Wait. I got it right.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Correct.
I just gloss over that fact. That's great.
Sorry. Which explorer discovered North America in 1492?
You know, I should pay attention in school. Because we are learning about this right now.
Here's a little thing that you can remember this by. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Oh, boy.
Christopher Columbus.
That's correct, Kyla. Okay, Annie, what date do we celebrate Independence Day?
I'll give you a hint. It's in July.
Come on, you know this one.
4th of July.
Yes.
That a girl.
Okay.
You put that phone away. There's no Googling allowed.
Who was the first U.S. president?
George Washington.
Well done.
Well done.
That one's easy, though.
They're all easy. Just kidding. I wouldn't have a clue. What is the name of the building where the president lives?
The White House.
Yes.
Very good.
Okay. This
you know
one's
where that
a little
is?
tricky.
Washington, D.C.
It is. What mountain has the faces of 4 U.S. presidents carved into it?
I don't know.
It's called Mount
Rushmore.
Well done, Kyla.
Yeah, so it actually was a sacred place to the Native Americans. And then, of course, we come in and completely deface the rock and put U.S. presidents on it.
And then attract tourists. Okay, what animal is considered to be the American symbol?
A hawk. No.
So close.
Same-
American eagle.
Yes,
Yeah,
the bald eagle.
The one with the white head.
Yeah.
Okay, this one might be tricky. In what city can you find the Empire State Building? Have you ever heard of that?
She's probably seen it on TV or
You
like
can
on a
also
movie.
find the Statue of Liberty.
All the way across the United States in the state of New York. Yeah, you mouthed it. You had it right. Go with it, girl.
Okay.
New York City.
How
Atta
many
girl.
stars are there on the American flag?
Isn't it like 50?
That's correct. One for each state.
Oh, that was my next question, Kylie. You just ruined it.
Oh.
Okay, and this
sorry.
one's really tricky, but I was just curious. How many colonies were there originally? Blank expression here. How many stripes are on the flag? Double blank. Kyla, can you help us out?
I believe there were 13
wait, she's-
originally.
Oh, she said one more second, and I'm pretty sure she was about to say 13.
You were, weren't you?
No, I was going to say 5.
Oh, so close.
Just go with
Okay.
it, Annie. Go with it.
This is our most popular segment, and I'm going to, Kyla, don't chime in until, if you know them, don't chime in.
I won't
because
chime in.
It's possible you may know them, but if you don't, feel free to give your opinion. Guess the Australian word. Okay, fairy bread.
Just
What,
take a
is
stab
there
at it.
bread with a fairy on it?
It's so close. It is white bread, spread butter on it, cover it in hundreds and thousands, which I think you guys call sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a staple for food at any kid's birthday party. There will be fairy bread, and it is so bloody good. It's basically like just sugar bread. It's delicious. I'll have to make some. Although I've tried to make it with American sprinkles, but the sprinkles
they're
are so
different.
they're so sugary or something. It's just way different. It doesn't have the same crunch or
Well, we'll have to bring some back, or if
Yes.
our listeners love us, they can send us
sprinkles
some
with the
sprinkles.
chocolate. Okay, number 2. Now, I did notice that this was said in the movie last night, so you may know it. A dunny.
Remember, it was written on the boat
Yeah.
where,
Pink.
nope, on the
The
boat,
boat
where
was
you.
coffee. But, yeah.
Toilet.
Yes. Well done.
Yes, that a girl.
Kyla just did a little
A little poo face, we'll say.
demonstration.
To and I bared down.
Okay, number 3. A bogan. Nope.
What is it about?
Bogan. Bogan.
I don't know.
No? Kyla? You know this one.
Oh, I
don't you?
know this one.
So the closest I could think to equate it to would be like a redneck or a white trash. I mean, obviously we say it with love. Ah, you bogan. Okay, and you might know this one. A chocky bicky.
Isn't it like, is it food?
It is food.
Yes,
Isn't
good job.
it like those chocolate biscuit things?
Yes.
Like a
well
chocolate
done.
cookie,
Chocolate biscuit, chocolate cookie.
as we would say. We would say cookie.
Yeah. Okay. Lollies.
A sucker.
That is true, but it's not specifically. It's just general sweets, candies.
Yep.
Well done. You actually did pretty good on those. You're half
Little
Australian.
fist bump here. Thank you.
Can't reach, but fist bump by proxy. Okay, I have a question for Annie. What do you think Australia is like?
Scary because there's big spiders,
This is true.
all poisonous snakes,
This
and
is
crocodiles that can eat someone alive.
true. This is true.
What do you think the people are like?
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think we ride kangaroos to school?
No.
We do tell people this, and they believe us. What do you think the weather is like? Snowy, hot, cold?
Hot.
It is pretty hot. What animals do you think we have for pets?
Birds.
Yes, put them on a little leash, take them for a walk. How many states do you think we have?
A lot.
I'll just give a number.
5.
That's a lot. You have 50. But you're pretty close. We have 6 states and 2 territories. Territories? That sounds
What's the
very
difference?
American.
What's a
Territories.
territory? Like, well, I mean,
It's
as
like a
opposed
northern
to-
territory as opposed to a state of like Western Australia or Victoria.
Why aren't they all the same?
I don't know. Google.
I mean, why aren't they all like states?
I don't know. I didn't invent the names of them. I think it was just because it was like the original colonies or whatever. Moving on. What language do we speak in Australia? Anything?
I should know this.
Yeah, you should, because I'm speaking it right now.
Yeah.
What is it? Australian?
English.
It's English. Okay, can you speak in an Aussie accent?
No. I don't even know what that is.
Well, can you sound? Can
no.
you
Can
sound
you
like
sound
Amanda?
like me? Okay, can you say g'day, mate? Try. Okay, I'm going to
Too
teach
bashful.
you how.
We're too bashful.
Okay, say these words. Repeat after me. Good, I, might.
Good eye, mate.
There you go.
Oh, look at that! That shocked face.
So basically, if you say good eye, like eyeball, might, it sounds like g'day, mate in Australia. And it did. Okay, what about this one? Say this. Rise up lights.
Rise up lights.
You just said razor blades in Australian.
Say razor blades in Australian for her.
Razor blades. Rise up lights.
That doesn't
You
make
sound too
sense.
American.
Rise up lights. Okay. Random fact. Did you know that Burger King is called Hungry Jack's in Australia?
No.
Exactly the same food. They have Whoppers. Interesting. Not really.
No.
She
Do
looks
you know
bored.
what they put on their burgers in Australia?
Pickles.
Oh,
Vegemite.
beetroot.
Beetroot. Beets. You know, the really red looking root. Yeah. They put beets on their burgers, which
do.
was a little odd.
That seems
And
gross.
often you'll find egg on a burger. Like an Aussie burger would have beetroot and an egg. Aussie pizza have egg on it. Ham, egg. Can we talk about why America still uses imperial measurement?
Oh, it is so lame.
There's only 3 countries in the world, the US, Liberia, and Myanmar, that still use feet, inches, pounds, and ounces. You are literally the only industrialized nation in the world that does not conduct business in metric weights and measures.
It's so obnoxious. But here's the thing. In medicine, we use
Centimeters and millimeters.
centimeters, millimeters, kilograms.
So bizarre.
You know, for measurements and stuff for people's weight, we use kilograms. We calculate per kilo, not per pound.
That's so bizarre.
For drugs that are given. And yes, I wholeheartedly would switch over in a hot second because it's so much easier. I've seen Amanda build things, and it seems so much easier to build things when using centimeters as opposed to
exactly, because it's like they're very
fractions.
Yes, it's like decimal, so it's like a of 100 type thing. It's very easy to
here's
calculate.
the thing: I didn't do very good in math growing up, especially with fractions. So I think I would have done a little bit better had I been able to use the metric system.
So basically, almost 50 years ago, in 1974, Australia changed all of its units to the metric system. But basically, after America gained independence from Britain, you decided to keep the type of measurement, even though the metric system was gaining in popularity at the time.
The one thing we kept
you're
from
so
them,
quick to ditch anything British, yet this you keep.
Yeah, trust me, it does not make sense to me either.
I didn't even know how you do it at school. Are you got a ruler with like inches on it and having to calculate this? Annie?
Yes.
We don't use calculators though.
But if you have a ruler,
measuring,
right? Your ruler is in inches, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers, 1 foot is 30 centimeters, and 1 kilo, 2.2 pounds. So basically all your distances, weight, height, or whatever are pretty much traced back to like body parts or everyday items, which is sort of bizarre.
And, you know, it's funny when I competed in track and field at the university.
Yeah.
Our shot put was measured in kilos.
Interesting.
Our disc was measured in kilos. Our javelin was measured in grams.
And like marathons, they're always like a 5, 10K, aren't they?
A 5K, a 10K. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. So there are some things that we have assimilated and others that we have not. Yeah. But I think the scientific community, the medical community, we all pretty much try to be on par with the rest of the world, because when you're sharing new information regarding scientific and medical breakthroughs, it's helpful to be speaking the same language, if you will, as your colleagues.
Yeah. It's just weird. Like Americans don't like change, do they?
I'd say that's accurate.
I always have to get Mum to bring a tape measure over to me, because although you can buy one here that has inches on one side and, you know, like centimeters, millimeters on the other, I can't get one with both. And sometimes it depends what side of the board you're measuring. So you want, the tape measure. So, I always get her to bring me one from home.
I much prefer building using the metric system.
Oh, it's way easier. Like when you get into 3 inches and
7/8 or 7/8
or something of a 16th or a 32, it's insane. But there are anomalies, like you said. Also soft drink, like, what do you call it? Soda?
Ounces.
It's sold in liters, like a 2-liter bottle or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Wine.
I don't drink
Medicine
wine.
is in milligrams.
Yep, that's true.
Food nutrition labels are metric. Like they're in grams on the back. Like when they talk
that's
about
true.
how many calories or whatever. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's part of the grand plan of whoever's scheming in our country to slowly assimilate the American public.
Yeah, very weird.
We're
Did
not
you
bright
know
enough, I guess.
back under President Jimmy Carter, he supported efforts to go metric, and Interstate 19, which connects Tucson in Arizona to Mexico, it's the only highway in America with distances posted in kilometers rather than miles.
Really? I didn't
And
know
to
that.
this day, they're still there because, I mean, they've tried to, they have to update the signs. So they've tried to like switch them back. But because of the exit numbers, like all the businesses would lose business because everyone's so used to like
Right.
the exit. Yeah, I find that fascinating that exit numbers are not numerical, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's basically how many miles from the beginning of the route.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, so from
Well-
like south to north. So basically at the border of Washington and Oregon, exit 1 is like 1 mile
From the border.
from the border.
Mm-hmm.
That's so bizarre. I mean, it's very clever because you can tell if you're 80 miles from the border.
Yeah, President Carter really was a progressive man, and he did a lot of good things. He recently, I believe, didn't he recently pass away?
I'm not sure
But
you're
he was-
asking an Australian.
He was building houses for humanity well into his 90s. Very good man. But I'm not surprised to hear that he endorsed the metric system.
Yeah. Do you think they should switch the road signs back to miles or keep them kilometers?
Keep them kilometers. We
It
need
must
to
be
switch everything to
confusing.
kilometers. I mean, the rest of the world operates in kilometers.
But if you're driving along and then you turn onto this Interstate 19 and you're doing 60 miles an hour and suddenly you see 100, wouldn't you just go 100 miles? Or you're not that stupid?
Well, I think they have KMPH on it.
I don't think so. From what I read, it was purely kilometers.
But really, the fact is it wouldn't be hard to change the signs out to reflect a speed in kilometers and miles
I agree.
until the public is familiar with what
Yeah.
50 miles an hour feels like in kilometers.
I actually really want to go there now just to see that oddity. I love
Please
like,
don't make
random
me do a
things
road
like that.
trip there.
Americans also measure temperature in Fahrenheit, not Celsius, which is bizarre.
Now, I do like that more because Celsius is it's a broader range of Fahrenheit. So it's not
Yes,
as,
it's
to
a
me, it's not as
scale.
exact.
It's a scale based on 0 for the freezing point of water and 100 degrees for the boiling point of water. There's some calculation to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Someone told me this when I was traveling once. It was something like Celsius times 1.8 plus 32, or I mean, I have to Google it.
Right. But who can keep that in their head and remember that?
I mean, besides me.
Not this girl.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a random question for you.
Okay.
Annie, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A hairstylist
Ooh, you'd be good at that.
She'll be great at that.
Yeah, I could see that.
or doing nails.
Oh, yes. Just one.
Just
Remember
one
that?
nail.
Have we played you
We'll
that?
show you.
Yeah, it's a
Angela
American
Johnson.
comedian, and she has this little nail skit. You know when you go to get your nails done, and they're all trying to sell you things like, oh, only $10 more to get. Yeah, it's funny.
You'll like it.
She's not impressed right now, but I'm sure once you hear it, you'll laugh. Kyla, what do you wish you would have been when you grew up?
A veterinarian.
You would have been so good at that.
I wish I would have. I was afraid of the math and science portion of the learning because all my life I've been told I had to get perfect grades. But as an adult now, I know that I could have gone and gotten average grades, B's even, instead of A's in those subjects and still been a successful veterinary medicine practitioner.
Oh, you'd be amazing.
So, yeah.
For radiology, you had to do all that math.
I had to do all that math
Maths.
anyway, but I think I had a different mentality. I did spend hours upon hours in the tutoring center at Road Community College. Pardon me, I'm sorry. I got the best education that I ever got at a community college. As opposed to a big university.
Yeah.
And, the help was available when and where you needed it. Smaller class size, local instructors. I far prefer it. And yes.
But you also went to college as well.
I did. I went to university as well.
So technically you could have gone back.
I did it in reverse. Typically people, if they're going to do community college route, they do that first because it's less expensive than going to university and then go to university. Well, I had a track and field scholarship. So I went to university first, got a degree that I ended up not using, and then went back to school to become a radiology tech. So,
wow.
But yes, if I had it to do all over again, I would absolutely become a veterinarian.
Never too late.
It's too late. We have too many bills that need paying.
Too many animals. Okay. Truth or a lie? I'm going to read something and you got to tell me if it's true or false, okay?
Okay.
The first police force in Australia was made up of the most well-behaved convicts. Do you know what a convict is? Like a criminal. True or false? Either of you. Anyone?
I would say true.
Annie?
False.
It's true.
Oh.
Okay. Australia has the largest number of purebred camels in the world. True or false?
False.
True is what I'm saying.
It's true. There are over 1 million camels that roam wild in Australia's desert.
The only reason I know that, Annie, is because I know that on the only parts of Australia that are relatively green and livable, shall we say, is the outer aspect, the parts that are surrounded, that are close to the coast, close to the ocean. So the inner part is mostly desert and gets very, very, very hot. And there's not a lot of water. And I think, didn't someone import camels? I
want to say we export camels to Saudi Arabia. And I mean, I'm pulling this fact out my head, but I'm pretty sure we export.
So what I'm getting at is
back in the day.
Back in the day, did they originate there? Are they they native to Australia?
That is interesting. I'm going to have to
look it up.
Pass that one over to Google.
Okay.
3, 50% of Australians were born in another country. True or false?
I'm going to say false. Annie, what do you say?
I'm going to stick my guesses with false.
You are both correct. It is false. 33.3% of Australians were born in another country. That makes us very multicultural.
You are, and yes. Honestly, I feel like Australians are some of the best traveled people in the world.
It's true. We do travel. Number 4, Australia invented the world's first seatbelt law in 1970.
I'll let you go first, Annie.
False.
I'm going to say true because you guys are very fond of laws and traffic things and cameras watching you as you're driving and all those very invasive practices, in my opinion.
What do you call them here? Speed traps?
A speed trap, but ours actually has to be like observed by a police officer.
Oh, no, ours will be hidden in like a recycling bin.
They're
very
so
sneaky.
wrong.
Or at the bottom of a hill where you tend to pick up speed. Oh, no, ours are just like out there. I got a speeding ticket once. I just bought a new car. I was driving along the freeway and our speed limit was 100 kilometers an hour and I was clocked at 106 and I got a ticket.
That's so wrong.
I was going over the speed limit.
Well, but how are you meant to have any fun in your new car if there's always somewhere that you're going to get a ticket?
I don't know. Anyway, the first compulsory seat belt law was put in place in 1970 in the state of Victoria, which is where I am from, it requiring their use by drivers and front seat passengers only. This legislation was enacted after trialling seatbelts in the front seats of police vehicles, which basically lowered the incidence of officer injury and death. Do you know when they were introduced in the US?
Oh, probably not until much later. I do recall growing up when it became mandatory, at least in Oregon, and everybody was up in arms and very pissed off about it.
Yep.
And-
1980s.
And I was born in 79, and I recall with my mom in the car that we were so happy because we'd gotten a Honda that had the seatbelt that it automatically, I'm putting in air quotes here, fastened itself because it tracked along the door frame. Every time you'd open it, the seatbelt chest strap would track along the door frame and go down, and then you'd just put your lap belt on. But to an officer, it looked like you were wearing your seatbelt because that shoulder harness was always, it would track from the base of the window all the way up and around over your shoulder. So it would look like you were wearing it even if you didn't have your lap belt on.
Oh.
And yes, I recall. But my mom worked still, I think, in the hospital. And I remember that it did decrease the rates of fatalities and head injuries and vehicle ejections on people who got in car accidents. So,
yeah. Don't you think it's weird how you say vehicle instead of just vehicle?
Oh, are you saying that you use another silent H?
Whatever. So yes, 1980s was the US, and consumers actually took it to court to fight this in the US, and some cut seatbelts out of their cars. That was how
I believe it. But you know how the federal government got around that?
Do tell.
They said, okay, that's fine. Yes, you as a state have the autonomy and the ability to make your own rules on this, and you don't want to wear seatbelts. That's fine, but you're not going to get funding from the federal government, let's say, for your road maintenance or your bridge maintenance. Sneaky. So no money for you if you don't decide to embrace seatbelts.
Interesting. Okay, number 5, Annie. The world's oldest fossil was discovered in Australia, 3.4 billion years old. True or false?
True.
It is true. Oh,
I was going to say false.
It is true.
No.
And no, Mum, it is not you.
That's too far. Too far.
Well done. You did pretty good, Annie. Okay, I have some crazy news.
Do you want to say hi to Mama Linda while we're at it, Annie?
Hi.
Shout out. Hi, Mom.
And shout out to Uncle David and Uncle Will.
Hi.
Okay, so random weird news. German ice cream parlor offers cricket-flavored scoops.
What?
Yes, a German...
Like bug-flavored scoops.
German ice cream parlor has expanded its menu with skin-crawling offering. Cricket-flavored scoops with dried brown crickets on top.
That seems disgusting.
Would you try it?
That's a hard pass, no.
But there's also ice cream that is ranch flavored.
Ew. That does not surprise me about America, but
I heard it in the car when we had the radio on, and we were all like, who would eat that?
I'd put it on pizza.
Don't even get me started.
I would totally.
No.
Have it like melting softly across your pizza. Ranch.
Ew. So in the past, he's offered liver sausage and gorgonzola cheese ice cream, as well as gold-plated ice cream for €4, which is about $4.25 a scoop. He said he can now produce the cricket flavour due to a European Union regulation that allows the use of insects in food. And those who try it are very enthusiastic. I have customers who come here every day and buy a scoop, he said. Ew. What's your favourite flavour?
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy? Yeah. Didn't expect that. Interesting, Kyle.
I don't really like actual cotton candy, but I do like cotton candy flavored ice cream.
Did you know we call cotton candy fairy floss in Australia?
Yes, I did.
Is that because I told you?
No, it's because when we see cotton candy, you're like, you say that.
Fairy floss. I'm so predictable, aren't I? I have the same few sentences that I repeat over and over and over.
I try
no
not
matter
to
how
point
many
it out.
times I've said it, it's now I have to say it. Like when I cross the bridge from Washington to Oregon, I have to point out that an Australian built this bridge, designed it, whatever. I have to say it. It's like I have to. I'm feel compelled to have to say these random things. So whenever I see that, even though everyone knows that I would call it fairy floss, I have to say, oh, we call it fairy floss in Australia.
Annie's just looking at her.
Yeah, 'cause she's used to it. The thing what I do love about ice cream here is Ben and Jerry's. Like, we got one last night. What was yours? It was so good.
You didn't even try it.
Well, it looked so good.
It was good.
I'm trying to eat
still have
keto.
some. It's salted caramel brownie.
Oh, my God. It
with
was like...
mini Reese's cups.
So I love ice cream with bits in it. Like, I'll dig out the bits and leave, like, holes in the ice cream.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah. I just leave holes.
Instead of peanut butter in it, it has just fudge in it.
Oh, so good.
And it's a lot cheaper here than it is in Australia.
It's like $4 here. And I remember paying $15 for a pint back home. I mean, it's obviously imported. And it may have come down. I mean,
we've been back
let me
for a
know.
while.
Someone in Australia,
they need to start making bubblegum ice cream.
That's your favorite, isn't it?
I love bubblegum ice cream. I don't know why, but it is my favorite, followed very close second by chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah. I don't like the bubblegum for you. The reason is because it has these frozen bubblegum balls, and I've got very sensitive ears, so when she crunches it...
I don't crunch gum. I blow bubbles or pop gum.
Okay, that's equally as annoying, but when you're eating frozen, like, balls of bubblegum, they're so crunchy. Anyway, I did go to Ben and Jerry's factory in Vermont. Vermont? How do you say Vermont?
Yeah, Vermont.
Vermont.
Not Vermont.
Vermont. Apparently, I went on this tour and they manufacture 350,000 pints every day.
I believe it.
Yeah. It was first opened in 1978 from memory.
People love their sugar.
The best part about this factory in Vermont was they had a flavor graveyard. So basically all of their dearly depinted flavors where they went to die, and some of them had lasted like a month, or, you know, like they'd released something which was a complete disaster, and they owned it. They were just like, we thought this was going to be great, and it was not. Okay, my second article is actually a heads up to Australians. Popular Australian beer recalled due to excess alcohol.
Recalled due to excess alcohol?
Yes.
Wow. Go out there and get you some, folks.
Yes,
Do it quick before it's gone.
So, watermelon sour beer from Your Mate's Brewing Company contains excess alcohol as a result of a secondary fermentation. They said it could pose a risk of illness due to its alcohol content. So basically, if you want the two for the price of one,
get out there and buy some.
Rush out and buy a slab. Do you know what a slab is?
Wouldn't it be a case?
Yes.
We call it a case.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think any Australians are going to complain about that.
No, not from what I know about Australians.
Rush out, stock up. Okay, I have one more. And this was really exciting to me because I would have been so happy if this happened. Arizona residents finds a bobcat lounging on her dog bed.
Oh, I would be happy
Describe what
too.
a bobcat is and how big it is.
I would say they're maybe 3 times the size of a house cat.
Cat? Isn't it like a lion size?
No. That's a mountain lion.
Well, I saw a photo and it looked huge.
Bobcats are smaller than mountain lions. And
But
mountain lions are
supposed to be
smaller
wild.
than regular lions. But they are still wild, and they are so cute.
Yeah.
They have the cutest, like, they've got these big, big paws. And
Really long ears.
long ears, like
Ooh.
little tufts of fur at the tips of their ears. And if you're a cat lover, they are the cutest cats you've ever seen.
They're really
I
pretty.
want one. So I get a call. I'm driving to pick Annie up yesterday, and I get a call from our neighbour Johnny over the road. And he says to me, all excited, because we've been having this bear off for years. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically whenever he sees a bear, he'll call me. I'll rush over there. Within 6 seconds, I'll be at his door, and he's like, oh, you just missed the bear. And then he'll show me a video or a photo of this bear just wandering past his front door. And I'm dying to see a bear.
A live bear in our area, which I have seen one.
Yes.
I have, yes.
I saw one It was so far away, though, walking down the street, and it looked like a baby. I can't swear for a fact it was a bear. It could have been just a black dog. But, yeah, there was this one night we had friends here, and it was when we got Foxy. They just bought Foxy to us, our little blind cat Foxy. Anyway, I'm up in bed, and Kyla hears one of the dogs barking, wasn't it?
Milo was alarm barking, and it's a different kind of a bark than his normal bark. It tells me he sees something. There's definitely something there, and it is a clear and present danger.
So she rushes out there with the torch,
a flashlight.
I call it a torch, and everyone thinks I'm on Survivor with my fire.
The fire on the end of the
torch.
stick. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Kyla's out there, and she sees this huge bear just walking past our back door.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that my excitement levels would be off the chart. So she bolts inside, races up the stair, trying to be quiet because we have guests
that are sleeping.
And she runs up and she's like, quick, bear. And apparently this was the
All
first or the second time in life that I've run. She said she's never seen me run so fast down the stairs. I get out there, and of course everyone else would be self-preservation. I grabbed that torch so fast and bolted out the front door and ran, and I just looked everywhere. I ran literally around the entire house looking for this.
She made me come with her because I wasn't about to let her go try and chase a black bear down with a flashlight.
Oh, I was so excited and couldn't see it, not even a trace.
I think where the disconnect is that you assume that our bears are like koalas.
Yeah,
and they're not.
I want to hug one.
No.
I'm going to.
No.
That's my goal in
life. You cannot.
But I don't want it to be a drugged up one in the zoo. Like, you know when people get their photos taken with a lion or a tiger? And
so what you're saying is you'd rather leave with, quote, love marks.
Love it.
I.e. bites and scratches from their claws. Oh, okay, great.
I mean, I don't want to just die in my sleep. I want something tragic.
Did you know that I've actually seen 2 bears before?
Seriously?
A baby bear and a mom bear.
Where at?
So, when you're going down the road from my house, there are these trees, and it's right next to a hill that leads to
forest land?
No, it's like a tribal.
Oh, tribal
place.
Properties?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
These bears like to hang out there, and the baby bear was just sitting in the tree.
Whoa.
I don't know where the mom was, but the baby bear was just sitting in the tree. And as we were driving past, so I have seen a bear before.
That's really cool. I'm jealous. So
I guarantee you that mama bear was somewhere nearby.
So our neighbor calls me. As I said, I'm driving down to pick up Annie. And he says, I'm looking at a bear right now. And I said, oh, my God, like I'm literally an hour and a half from home. I can't get there. I said, please take a photo, send a video, like do anything. He said, hang on, I'll take one right now. So he snaps a photo, and obviously we're talking. I'm driving. The photo's not coming through. And he's like, did you get it? Did you get it? I finally get it. Bloody Johnny. It was a wooden bear, like made out of driftwood, like sitting in his driveway. And I was just like, you bloody tricked me.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he had a good chuckle, and he's like, yeah, it weighs 350 pounds. It looks amazing.
It's pretty
cool. And
cool.
he said, it's very unique. And I said, until I get one and one-up you. He actually got this stone-carved bear with
marker.
For his house
address.
with his address.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it so much. I was so jealous that he actually went out and got us one with like the same bear but with our address on it, which was so kind.
Sweet. So
anyway,
thoughtful.
He said when he was getting his, he said to them, can it be any bigger? And the guy said, no, this is the biggest piece of like stone we have to carve it on. And then when he went and picked up ours, it was bigger. So I said, I'm going to get the bigger and better. Yeah.
Which
driftwood bear.
I'm not too excited about because that means I'll be in charge of helping get it off of the trailer.
Pounds.
You can't get one, you have to get 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
one up him.
We could put one at one driveway and one at the other.
Yes. Yeah. I'm all about one-upping people.
You'll get a bear and I'll get a horse.
You have 4.
I need more.
She has 2.
Well, she sent me this meme.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? A meme? Like a meme.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. GIF, whatever. Anyway, she sent me the thing and she said, I need one. What was it? I need one in all colors or something. I don't have one in this color.
Yeah, it was basically this person trying to like grab any number of these horses. And there was like literally one of every color, one of every breed. Spots. And this other person grabbing that person by the midsection and holding them back and being like, no. And the person saying, but I don't have this color.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
I scribbled out the horse and wrote squirrel on it and said, I don't have this color yet. Anyway, it's been a pleasure chatting with you both.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Does
this
anyone
is a great
have
episode.
any final words of wisdom? Annie? Last words?
Kyla has 2 horses.
Oh, okay.
Oh, harsh.
Oh, harsh.
Wow.
Kyla has 2 horses. Annie has
2.
1.5.
1.5.
She has George Washington and
George.
And who's your other one?
Tinkerbell.
AKA
Stinkerbell.
she's definitely been a Stinkerbell lately.
She is
Bossing.
She
She's
thinks
half
she
the size of
is
George.
as big as all the other horses, and she
And
is
half
half
as
the
young.
size. We would call it in America short man syndrome.
Yes.
She definitely has it.
She would be driving the Corvette or the Ferrari.
Or the lifted truck.
No, she's
Oh,
the Karen.
She's the Karen. She's the Karen.
And then everybody else is just like, what is her problem?
Yeah. She's a little
Running around kicking people.
B word. Yes.
Yeah, she does.
Okay, just to wrap it up, any questions, feedback, please reach out to our Facebook, or as we say in Australia, Facey page. Leave us a voicemail, links in the show note. Rate and review us. As we always say, 5-star only.
Yeah,
if it's not 5-star,
we don't want it.
don't bother. No Australian goodbye yet again. Everyone did find it very interesting that there was an Australian and American goodbye. Anything left to say?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. See you next week. Episode 5. Jeez, didn't think we'd make it past 1, but
I agree.
okay. See you guys.
Bye-bye.